Alright, and here's a video review of a neat little line of figures I've discovered recently. And that is Little Battlers, Danball Senki. I haven't seen the show. Apparently it was a video game, and it's a cartoon. There's an anime as well that I haven't checked out yet. But I found these little figures. When I bought something on eBay recently, and the seller I bought from had Sigma Orbis, which is a different figure. We'll get to that soon. For sale, pretty cheap. I looked at other prices, and it was like a really good deal on the figure. So I picked it up to check it out because it looked neat, and it really, really was. And so I went ahead and hunted these guys down first. I'm saving Sigma Orbis for last because it really is, I think, one of my favorite new figures that I've gotten recently. But to give you a little taste of what these guys are, to start off, these are 1/1 scale. From what I picked up on the storyline, it's basically it's kind of like the beat 'em on Beyblade fighting type game. You know, the kids have little things that they fight in cardboard stadiums or something like that. I'm not super familiar with the source material. I'm working on it, but the robots are really, really cool, and they're worth checking out. For most, they're very posable. There's a lot of die cast in these. Which is nice, gives them a lot of heft. Now, there are model kits. You can get all of the characters as, you know, the little, like, plastic model kits that are lightweight, and they still transform and do everything. I know at least with these guys they do. And there's a lot more characters available in the model kit line. These are what are called the Z mode, which are the full action figures with die cast and you know, some interchangeable parts and things. And like the stands they're on come on a plastic sprue. You have to build them. The arms come separate. But what a few little plastic sprue pieces. This is IKAROS Zero, and this is IKAROS Force. They come together in a pack like this, and you can see why. They're the same mold, different decos and stuff, and some different different things about them, but more or less the same basic body type and different shades of blue. And we're going to go ahead and just pop them off the stands here. And what's cool about the stands, too, is the stands are two separate stands. Right now they're hooked together, but you can connect them in all sorts of various ways, especially when they're in weapon modes. They help support them. And then inside the stand, there's you can pull up this little cover, and it holds all the little extra pieces you might need. Like I said, this one I know we're going to need, so we're going to go ahead and get that out. But like the extra hands, they do have interchangeable hands and such. I'm not going to swap them out here in the video, but because there's not really a point to it. They just let them hold different things or have different poses on their hands. But like each little stand stores the pieces inside of it, which is kind of cool. And there's a Z and an F for Zero and Force. And the stands are pretty sturdy. You can tighten them. There is a screw there. You can actually tighten if it's a little loose. But they do a good job of supporting the weight of the figures themselves. And they come with some extra weapons. Like I said, if you want to swap out, like I said, Force here has a couple of swords. Zero's got the spear and the shield. But there is also included in there a giant rifle and a couple of pistols. And again, if you swap the hands out, they can hold those as well. But what they can also hold is themselves. Because let's go ahead and do Zero first here. So we'll go ahead and pop the shield off. The shield handle is a separate piece that plugs in, just in case that comes off. Don't worry. Go ahead and lower this down a little bit. Pop the top of the spear off. Pull that out. It goes in one way. I got it in there first try. Sometimes you have to rotate it to get the little tab to go up where it should go. So you take these, and with this guy, you actually want to take him and just pop him apart right here at the waist. Pull this piece off, because you're going to replace it with this piece. And this piece is going to plug right in here, like this. The legs, take this piece right here. Flip it up. Is that how this one works? I bend them back at the knee. So bend this back at the knee, and then there's a little tab here on the side of the blade that the side of the knee joint plugs into on both sides to lock it into place. And you can see this is all die cast up in here. The whole frame is die cast with die cast pieces. Very hefty little figures for these tiny little robots. So you plug that together, fold his feet up. Pull this blade out and replace it with this glowy orange blade. And you can see it gets it a little longer. And now that's one half of his weapon mode he becomes now a sword that this guy can hold when you swap the hands out. So you can get, again, you kind of need the stands to help support it because of the die cast, and it does come with an adapter and a clip that can support that can hold on to this weight of the blade. If you want to pose them with the hands, or if you just want to have them resting on the ground, they can do that easily. So yeah, he turns into this sword, and the upper body, fold him up like that, hold his hands up, hold his hands up, kind of like he's pumping. Okay, and then take this, the chest piece pushes up to cover the face, just like that. These come up to the sides. There's a little tab here on the side that's going to peg into the arm. Just like that. And then again, you swap these blades out. Come on. There we go. Oh, okay, I was grabbing too far down. For some clear orange blades. Straighten them up, flip them up over his head here, like that. Tab that arm back in, and then peg in the other handle onto that ball joint there, and there's the other sword. So this guy forms a single sword and a dual sword that can be wielded by other little battlers figures. So that's pretty cool. We'll set those off up over here, and then Zero Force, or IKAROS Force, take his swords out of his hands. And we're going to start, you can see he's got some similar design motifs here. We'll take this down, flip it down like this between his legs, and then those are going to tab right onto, there's a peg on the side of it, you can see those two pegs there, that peg into the legs. The ball joints like to pop off because the die cast is a little stiffer. But bring his heels down, and up like that, and then you can bring the heel down, put the whole leg up like that. He also brings his arms down. He does the kind of curling position that we did with Zero, except he has tabs that tab into the bicep, and because his legs don't come off, he's got a tab here on the underside of his arm that tabs right into the top of the leg piece there to lock that all together. And then again, the chest piece slides up to cover the face. Just like that. Bring these up again to the side of the head. Everything's lined up properly. It should line up just right. Just like that. And then you bring these up again, just like on the other side, on the side of his head. Except this time, we take this piece. You see there's a little bit there that goes inside grooves inside of here, and you just slap that on like that, and then the piece we pulled out of the stand earlier was this little pommel. I leave it in the stand, like it's supposed to stay on in this mode, but I leave it in the stand because it does like to pop off fairly easily. You could probably put some nail polish or some floor finish on there to hold it on better, but like I just don't want to risk losing it. But see, and there his again, you want to use the stand to support it, but he turns into a giant sword that also can be held by Zero when he's in robot mode. So you can see the size of this thing, or by other Danball Senki figures that have compatible hands. So like, and I add this because like I like him better as a robot, and I like him way better as a sword. So the fact that like he turns into a giant sword for him is just really, really cool. And that is the Zero. And then it actually tells you how to set the stands up. You can attach, if you pull the back piece off, this is the piece that plugs into the back of the robots for the stands. You can plug that into here, and then use this clip here on this weapon, and then plug this piece into the back piece as if he were the robot. And you can display the weapons. You can put them on the stand and just have them as a weapon display rack for maybe some of your other little battlers figures. There you go. So, like that. And same with this guy. You could use the back piece on the other stand. You can just plug it in like that and display them as weapons in the background of a Danball Senki display. So yeah, really cool sets. And like I said, this is a fun little duo set to pick up. I got it off Mandarake for I think like $30. I mean, like normally they go for like $100. If you look on eBay, you'll see this and Sigma Orbis going for over $100. And like I said, if you know where to get discount goods, because I got this in like practically perfect shape because the box was damaged, completely unopened, for I think $30 on Mandarake, which I believe is how you say that. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I've said it both ways, and I've had people yell at me both ways. So, but yeah, really neat set. There is the IKAROS Zero and IKAROS Force.